Progressives Congress (APC) Bola Tinubu has said that the attack on national chairman of the party, Adams Oshiomhole, is based on 2023 ambitions of some party members. Tinubu, who broke silence on the moves to host Oshiomhole, in a statement on Sunday, stressed that those behind the move are suffering from a sickness he called Old Ambition Virus 2023. The APC national leader faulted the move, adding that it is recklessly undermining the party they claim to serve and also weaken the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. That sickness is Old Ambition Virus 2023. This illness afflicts many in the political class along with their allies in the media. The carriers of this sickness are confused as to the very season our nation now finds itself. They conflate things which no sensible person would conflate. The primary symptom of their malady is the driving tendency to believe the events of 2023 will be decided before it even exits the year 2020. Many people were injured and properties damaged following an explosion in Abulado, Amuwo Odofin local government area of Lagos State earlier today. The explosion threw the residents of the area into a state of panic. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency has said the explosion was not caused by a disruption of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation oil pipeline. Acting Coordinator, Lagos Territorial Office, NEMA, Mr. Ibrahim Farinloye, made the clarification. Farinloye said, contrary to information earlier put on social media, the explosion, which occurred about 9 a.m., was unconnected to pipeline vandalism. Farinloye said the NNPC had shut down the pipeline passing through the area as a precautionary measure after the oil company was notified of the incident. He also confirmed that several buildings were affected by the explosion, which was heard several kilometers away in many parts of the state, including Amuwo, Odofin, Ijegun, and Agege. In its unrelenting efforts at wiping out incidents in the northeast, the Operation Decisive Hedge of the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has successfully knocked out some logistics facilities and other structures belonging to the Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP. The operation was carried out at Bukal Meram of the Friends of the Lake Chad in Borno State. Similarly, aircraft dispatched by the Air Task Force to provide close air support for ground traps at Gubiu in the northwestern part of the Borno State also destroyed one gun truck and eliminated some ISWAP fighters at the location. The Nigerian Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information Air Commander Ibikunle Daramola, in a statement, said the attack at Buka Meram was executed on the use of intelligence. Reports indicating that the terrorists had used the settlement to store their logistics supplies. Accordingly, the Air Task Force dispatched its fighter jet to attack the location with their ammunition, eat and destroy the identified structures. In a similar vein, the Air Task Force, which provided close air support to ground troops of Gubiu, neutralized an ISWAP gun truck and some of their fighters as they attempted to beat a retreat after they were roundly defeated by a combination of air and ground fire. The Nigerian Air Force are therefore pledged to sustain its onslaught in furtherance of the objectives of restoring peace and security in the northeast, while it hoped to continuously carry out air interdiction missions against the enemies of the nation. Nigeria, as a multi-ethnic nation, is divided along language, culture, and religious lines, and this is the greatest threat to a peaceful coexistence. Let's hear people's opinion on how Nigeria can coexist peacefully in spite of their differences. Details in this report. Governments, past and present, have made serious efforts by propagating laudable programs and policies geared towards peaceful coexistence in the country. In spite of differences, Nigerians are expected to live together as one But there are constraints affecting this.
The major three tribes, Hausa, Fulani, the Igbo, the Yoruba, and they constitute 70% of the total population in the country. So we can only coexist when we tolerate one another, when we see ourselves as one, when we don't give room for violence. So when there are security measures there, it's a way of shunning violence in our nation. And when we do that, we observe that there will be peace in our nation.
If you look at it, when we are in the northern, eastern, and western region, things were going on peacefully. Every region where they were enjoying themselves, whatever they get in their region, they used to develop themselves. But until when they now combine everything together, but when we have restructuring, let every state, every region develop themselves.
To them, policies and programs put in place to foster national integration and unity should be pursued and implemented with every sincerity to achieve.
The first one is that we must identify our differences. All of the ethnic groups and all of the political parties that make up Nigeria and the individuals, the religion, we are diverse. So we should recognize first of all that we are different people. And then after we identify that, we should now tolerate one another.
There must be a kind of a relationship that must have existed before we can even coexist. Then in tune of that, there must be an agreement, and at the same time, there must be love.
Respondents concluded that to claim the victory for an integrated Nigeria, an urgent step must be taken by government, policymakers and councillors to take the center stage in propagating the gospel of national integration through the development and implementation of programs geared towards national consciousness and unity, beginning from the pre-primary level for lasting and sustainable coexistence. Southwest Governors Forum Chairman Rotimi Akeredolu has said recruitment into Amoteco Corps may begin this week. The Ondo State Governor, who spoke through a special advisor on security matters, Alhaji Jimoh Dojumo, also said the security outfit initiated by Southwest Governors to tackle insecurity in the region would take off in the next 3 weeks. He added that the training of the personnel will last for 21 days with more training and retraining thereafter. The statement reveals that all arrangements for the exercise have been concluded. He said he also disclosed that security agencies will conduct their training for those recruited, assuring that before the end of March, the Amoteco Corps will be seen patrolling the roads before March ending in the uniforms specially designed for them. The Ogun State government, through the Teaching Service Commission, TESCOM, is set for another recruitment exercise for suitable qualified candidates for the post of teachers in public secondary schools in the 4 divisions of Ogun State. The services of the teachers will be needed in the following academic disciplines, among others: English language, mathematics, agricultural science, home economics, physical health education, creative arts, Yoruba, Christian religious studies, Islamic religious studies, computer science, civic education, economics, and commerce. Others are financial accounting, physics, biology, chemistry, literature in English, geography, further mathematics, government, social studies, business studies, basic science, basic technology, history, and French. Candidates with Bachelor of Education in Arts, Sciences, Social Sciences, Technology, Home Economics, and other courses relevant to the above listed subjects are qualified. Also, candidates with Bachelor of Arts, BA, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Technology, BTech, and Postgraduate Diploma, PGDE, are also qualified. Candidates with a higher national diploma, HND, particularly in STEM-related subjects, and Technical Teachers Certificate, TTC, Postgraduate Diploma in Education, PGDE, are also qualified to apply. Interested candidates must apply on the job portal, jobs@ogunstate.gov.ng. Only candidates who apply for the job on the portal and also fill the form will be considered. In addition to this, prospective candidates are expected to possess first school leaving certificate, senior secondary certificate with a minimum of 3 credits, including English and mathematics, first degree certificate, NYSC discharge or exemption certificate, certificate of birth issued by a recognized agency, valid means of identification, evidence of change of name if applicable. The activity lasts till April 3rd, 2020. Strict adherence to the patronage of locally made products will help to fast-track improvement of innovations of ideas, particularly in the area of technology, towards the continuous growth of the country's gross domestic product. This was the opinion of economic and business developers while appraising the effects of homemade goods on the nation's economic growth. Peter Falomo completes the report.
With new ideas being derived from technology globally, innovations in the business world also keep advancing and continue to improve production capacity of made in Nigeria products.
Every manufacturer is ensuring that that is available in their businesses. But if for one reason or the other you decide to lag behind in this present age of technology advancement, of course your business will not go beyond where it is.
Okay, let's look at cement, for instance. We have a lot of modern way by which the modern technology has helped to produce massively more than what it used to be before, especially for production of any of this industrial good that we have.
Beyond the comparative advantage derivable from the growth of locally made goods, respondents enjoined the leadership of the country to step up its policies on local production of homegrown materials.
Ẹ wà wọn tí wọ́n ń hun ẹni yẹn tí a bá gbé wọn lárugẹ tí wọ́n kọ́ wọn tán fún wọn ní ìdálẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣé àwọn pé ibòmíì lẹ́lòmíì mọ̀ọ́dé ẹ kò sí iṣẹ́ kò sí gba ẹlòmíì àdá tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀ wọ́n á tún fi ráwọn tó kàwé yẹn wọ́n á tún ṣe é ju àwọn ìyá wa tí wọn ò kàwé lọ lọ́nà àrà.
For instance, if you look at mining, area of mining now, the technology, what it will take you to do exploration with the modern way, which even some of us were even trained in school, you can cover an area for about 2 or 3 months. But I can tell you within seconds, if you fly over those areas, you get the result. But if the government now have a policy to buy into some of this technology, I think we will get there very easily.
On the crave of Nigerians' perception and attitudes on their disposition towards imported goods and materials, respondents speak on the factors that are responsible for such and prefer solutions.
Talking about Standard Organization of Nigerian, NAFDAC, and a host of others, they have to rejig themselves and act the way they should. There shouldn't be above the table, under the table games.
Tọ́n bá ṣiṣẹ́ wọn tó, àwọn náà wọ́n pèsè àwọn nǹkan tó dá lábẹ́lé tó dẹ̀ máa wúlò fún wa tó ní tètè bàjẹ́. Àwọn èèyàn nílé máa lọ sí òkè òkun láti máa lọ ra ọjà. Òkè òkun tá à ń lọ yìí náà, àwọn náà ní àwọn ọjà tó wà substandard, but gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìjọba wọn lọ́hùn, ó máa pàṣẹ fún iléeṣẹ́ yẹn pé irú nǹkan báyìí la fẹ́ kó o ṣe kó lè nálòpẹ́ fáwọn aráàlú.
Ìṣáná ni o, gbogbo èèyàn ní táàní tó yẹ pókè òkun náà ti ń kó wá nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ń bì báyìí. Pẹ́ńsù nǹkan tá a lè ṣe ń bì báyìí. A ní lead nínú ilẹ̀ wa ń bì báyìí. Tá a bá fi bíi 10 naira ṣe, tá a tà fún wọn ní 20 naira, tán bá tún máa fi owó wọn rà, ó tún máa lé. A tún ti fi ṣe ìlọ́po bíi 2 mẹ́ta nìyẹn. Ṣé rí pé ọrọ̀ ajé wa ó ti ń gòkè lọ nìyẹn.
They submitted that beyond oil and gas, agriculture and manufacturing units, textile industry as well as entrepreneurship are evidently contributing to the growth of the nation's gross domestic products. Peter Falomo, OGTV News.
All right, you're watching OGTV News. We have to go on a commercial break now. When we return, we bring you more news and report. Please don't go away.
From concept to delivery, every step is a mark of quality and experience. Our creative excellence guarantees precision, elegance, and class, and that's for all people with good taste in fashion. Leaning on sophisticated tailoring technology, we produce thousands of garments per day. Our Tailoring and Vocational Institute is next to none, training and mentoring hundreds of young and proficient tailors every year. Enroll or sponsor a candidate today. Wesley Creations, for exclusive fashion.
Thank you for staying with OGT Videos. Nigerians have been advised to maintain a balanced state of mind as it contributes to their general well-being. This was the views of medical experts who spoke with our reporter Ifeoluwa Ogunbiyi on mental health education and what it portends for people's overall well-being. Our report is presented in this package.
Mental health refers to a state of well-being in which individuals realizes their ability to cope with normal stresses of life. Key elements of mental health includes the concepts of self-care and responsibility for one's own mental stability and wellness.
Mental health is the well-being of an individual in which he or she realizes his abilities, is able to cope with the normal stresses of life, having to go to work as a student, having to prepare for exams, and is able to contribute meaningfully, work productively in his or her own community.
Absence of sickness does not amount to mental health. That's number one. Then number two, without mental health, there's really no health.
With the prevalence of mental health issues in the society, medical experts speak on what can lead to mental disorder.
When you notice that a person complains that he easily gets tired for no reason, you notice the person has lost interest in what he normally likes doing, someone that likes going out, someone that likes cooking or doing other things, and you notice the person has actually lost interest, you should be worried that actually there's a problem.
Our personality also play a role, so which can also now make somebody stable or unstable. And of course, circumstance per time. Some people can be elated when you are very happy, and some people can be depressed when they are down. So all these things could actually dictate your mental state.
The causes of mental health are manifold, ranging from distress, drug abuse, and poor ability to relate with others. According to medical experts, the causes can be induced or reinforced in many different settings, including home, school, and workplace.
You need to take very good care of yourself physically. You must eat well, sleep well, make sure you are occupied, make sure you relate with people around you.
If you are psychologically stable in terms of your mind, your mindset, you don't have anything bothering you, your mood will be okay.
And always know that don't die in silence. Always seek help when it's necessary.
They advise the people to engage in activities in order to have good mental state.
Enugu State has reported a fresh suspected case of COVID-19. This is confirmed in a statement from the Permanent Secretary in the State's Ministry of Health, Dr. Ifeanyi Agunjobi. Dr. Agunjobi says the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has been informed while a sample has been collected and sent for investigation. The suspected case, a female, has reportedly been in the UK in the last 5 months. She came to Enugu through Owerri on March the 11th to visit her son. Dr. Agunjobi adds that the suspect is being monitored and the results are awaited. Away from Nigeria now, U.S. President Donald Trump has tested negative for the coronavirus. The White House physician has said Mr. Trump underwent a test days after hosting a meeting at his Florida resort with Brazilian delegation, some of whom have tested positive. Fabio Wagzantin, and aide to the Brazilian president, was among those other confirmed to have the disease. 1 week after having dinner with the Brazilian delegation in Mar-a-Lago, the president remains symptom-free, Mr. Conley said. The Trump, aged 73, did not self-isolate after that meeting, saying he had no symptoms. But after a barrage of further questions during a news conference at the White House, Mr. Trump said he would get tested. The U.S. has more than 2,700 confirmed cases with 54 deaths. On Friday, President Trump declared a national state of emergency to release $50 billion to fight the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, Germany will largely shut its borders with France, Switzerland, and Austria from Monday to stop coronavirus spreading, government sources say. Other EU states are also taking radical action, with Austria banning gatherings for more than 5 people from Monday. Romania is to declare a state of emergency. The Czech Republic, which has already closed its borders, could introduce a nationwide quarantine. The moves follow strict measures taken by France and Spain on Saturday. Spain recorded 97 more deaths and 2,000 new cases in the past 24 hours, bringing the country's total death toll to 288 and overall number of cases to 7,753. France with 4,469 confirmed cases and 91 deaths is holding local elections despite the shutting of cases, restaurants, and most shops. In the world of sport now, despite the threat of coronavirus, Edo State government has announced that it was confident and prepared to host 11,500 athletes and officials during the 20th National Sports Festival, which kicks off in Benin City on March 22nd. Deputy Governor Mr. Philip Shahibu, who doubles as the chairman of the local organizing committee of the game, made this known while briefing journalists on the state preparedness for the festival. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dari, on his part, said that the federal government is spending less than 1 billion naira in the festival because Edo State involvement of the private sector in hosting the festival. The minister also said that the festival would also serve as avenue to get athletes for the Olympic Games later this year to be held in Tokyo, Japan. Still in the world of sport, Nigeria's Flamingos trashed Guinea 5-1 in the second leg of the Under-17 FIFA Women's World Cup. The match took place at the Agege Stadium in Lagos State and came after the team had defeated their foes 6-1. The first leg of the match was played at the 28th September Stadium, Conakry. A hat-trick from Yemisi Samuel, brace from Rofiat Imuran, and a Chinyere Kalu opener in the first leg means Nigeria qualified for next round of the qualifier 11-2 on aggregate. Bankole Oluokere's side will now take on Ghana in the final round of the qualifying series later in May. The 2020 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup is billed for Monday, November 2nd to Saturday, 21 November in India. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for Monday.